Dear students, welcome to EPG. I am Tanya Thomas from Srimati VHT Central Institute of Home Science, Bangalore. Today we will be doing a module on school counseling, need and scope. Change seems to be the order of the day. World is changing, society is changing, lifestyle is changing. Everyday life has become challenging and stressful, even for children. Children face a lot of pressure from school, family, society, friends, etc. Competitiveness, family problems, family pressure, bullying, sibling rivalry, phobia, abuse are few of the problems faced by the students. As home schools are also considered a prime factor for the nourishment, holistic development and educational development in children, schools serve as a second home for the child. It is crucial that a favorable atmosphere is maintained for the overall development of the child. So what is school? A school is an institution like family for educating children. Like family has a responsibility to produce children for the future society, even school has a responsibility to reproduce children for the societal benefits. Schools can provide a conducive environment which will enable children to innovate and change, and it can also provide them experiences which can mold them for their future endeavors. What are the activities in school? The main activity or the aim of the school is to holistically develop the child. One of the most important duties a school does is to impart knowledge to children. It is tasked with the responsibility of passing the information gathered through the centuries by mankind in a comprehensive and systematic way. Without schools, it would have been difficult, if not possible, to ensure that the young generation would have all the necessary understanding of the world around them. Schools train children in important aspects like problem solving, interpersonal and intrapersonal skills, etc. Essential skills which help children interact and understand day-to-day objects are developed in the schools. Moreover, schools lay a foundation for future career of the children. Though major part of the pupil's time in school is spent on academics, co-curricular activities like sports, finance, fine arts, etc. also form a part of curriculum. These help the children explore their talents and hone their strengths. For example, sports build interpersonal skills, leadership qualities and well-being of the children. What are the interactions in school? A school is a place where children are exposed to a large number of people. Various individuals from various parts of the society come together. They share a common platform and a common aim. Often a child's first interaction other than the family would be from the school to which they belong. The child's primary interaction would be with the other children in the school and his or her teachers. To this end, the interaction with fellow students influence a lot in the overall development of the child, as they would be coming from different socio-economical background. The personality of the teachers also play an important part in the child's development in the school. Auxiliary staff also interact with the students, for example, the helpers, the office staff, etc. It is very important to have a controlled and stress-free environment for each student in the school when he or she should go through such interactions. What is school counseling? The prime goal of guidance service in school is to promote learning and enhance student skills. These services are designed with the focus on students, parents and educators so that they can provide support and resource to students at all levels of learning. Guidance service is developed to facilitate holistic development in children, which will further on help the society. Counseling is a profession which is a concept of a Western country. In Indian society, where family bonds with warm community feeling and spiritual essence, this has been a strong base in providing shock absorbers in the time of crisis and a support structure to cope with any psychological problems. Perhaps this has been the main reason for slow professional growth in India. In the recent years, the Indian society seems to have undergone a total metamorphosis with changing roles of women, a breakdown of joint family system, increased competencies in schools, increased sociability of the children, immense technological advances, peer and parental pressures resulting in environment with stress and strain for children. School counselors seem to have appeared like a blessing to children, students and parents to cope with the increased stress and strain and contribute towards maintaining the mental health of the younger generation. School guidance and counseling has changed over a period of time to meet the needs of the society and the members. School counseling is a recent profession and an attempt to trace the history of it in India. In 1954, the Ministry of Education, Government of India, established the Central Bureau of Education and Vocational Guidance. This laid down the seeds of present-day counseling. After the third five-year plan came into effect in 1961, guidance programs were started in school. By the end of five-year plan in 1966, there were around 3,000 schools offering counseling services in one way or the other. From year 2000, the Central Bureau of Educational and Vocational Guidance has delegated the work of guidance professionals training to the regional institutes of guidance at Ajmer, Bhopal, Bhubaneswar and Mysore. Its main objective is to help students in suitable curriculum and career options. Nowadays, it is common to see school counselors as an integral part of the school staff. More and more schools are opting for permanent staff positions for counselors, where it was earlier only temporary. Students as well as parents are also aware of such arrangements and prefer schools those who have full-time counselors on panel. Aims of counseling. Aims of the counseling should be evident and appropriate for the situation. Counseling goals can be achieved when the counseling session aims at being evident, appropriate. Student counseling not only provides support for the students but also for the parents and educators. The first one is self-learning. Self-learning should be tweaked into every child's mind. Self-learning makes students become more independent. The primary aim of school counseling service is to enhance and promote self-learning in students and help them to become independent. It not only aims to promote self-learning but triggers on the core functions such as planning, consultation, prevention, education, etc. Student counseling aims at eliciting information and giving required suggestions for the received information. School counselors have a professional responsibility to explore the problems faced by students and explore its implications on the student and his or her surroundings. School counseling should help students identify the problem and help them to curb the beliefs. School counseling should benefit students identify the problems according to their severity and rate their concerns accordingly. Assessment summarization should be planned towards the end of the session to help students understand the effect of counseling and to help them realize their potential. What are the need for school counseling? First one is academic related. In a school, students vary in different ways. Their capabilities differ from each other. Often the teacher is not able to provide individual attention to each child based on his or her capabilities. Thus, children with lesser academic capabilities need help. Academics of a child can be influenced by multiple factors. For example, behavioral issues, where behavior of a child directly affects his academic performance. Here, counseling helps in identifying and correcting the causes for the behavioral problems in the child. Counseling also helps in finding the root cause of the behavioral issue. Next one is neurological issues. A child may suffer from learning disability like dyslexia, etc. These conditions are not very obvious to an untrained staff and can go undetected. Such conditions can be wrongly concluded as being a behavioral problem, which could cause a lot of stress to children. A counselor is well trained in identifying these conditions and provides necessary aid as required. The third one is physical disability. Physical disabled children need higher amount of counseling. They are more prone to having low self-esteem and need more help. They would also need help in basic day-to-day activities. Fourth one is family related. A child's family plays a large part in molding his behavior, which would directly affect his conduct at school. Problems at home stress the child and shows directly on his academic performance. For example, parents going through divorce, child facing abuse at home. Such negative incidents can affect children in a very bad way. A counselor can help in identifying such issues and provide the necessary help. The student's interaction with others are also largely influenced by the situations at home. It is important that a favorable atmosphere is maintained at home, which would help in upbringing of the child. Resolving psychological problems. Stress, loneliness, bullying, ragging, peer adjustments, parental and teacher pressure are some of the possible psychological problems of students which can be resolved by school counseling. In extreme cases, the counselor may feel that student psychologist or psychiatrist or other specialized personnel. Counseling for parents. A very important revelation is that the parents need to be counseled. The student counselor may provide counseling to parents on the following issues: the necessity to accept the child as he or she is with their strengths and weaknesses, the ill effects of undue pressure and stress on the child to excel academically, the interests and aptitude of the child and his suitability and choice of career, learning disabilities of the child, if any, and the coping strategies, the psychological problems of the child, if any, and the coping strategies, removing the stigma attached to counseling. Counseling for teachers and school staff. The teacher and the school staffs also need counseling to deal effectively with the huge number of students coming from diverse backgrounds and holding unique individualities. The counselors should focus on the following issues. First one is an understanding of the futility of the corporal punishment. Understanding child as a unique person and accepting every student as he or she is. Identifying learning disabilities of the students. Identifying psychological or adjustment problems of the child. Ways to bring the best out of each child. Overall development of the students. What are the scope of school counseling? School counseling purpose may include individual work, group work and class work to provide intervention and prevention services. The main purpose of school counseling are respond to child's holistic need in age appropriate manner, respond to the career needs of child according to their needs. Every child is unique in their own way, so school environment can be tweaked in ways to provide for their self-exploration. Help students by working with their families and community. Working with them would give a broader perspective to the counselor. Support and enhance a student's academic progress through a variety of activities which may include individual assessments, goal setting, instruction in study habits and organizational skills, and assisting with the development of individual education plan, that is IEP, which include behavior intervention plans, BIPs, and individual transition plans, that is ITPs. Prevention. To facilitate school counseling and success in children, school counseling may be developed, implemented and assessed according to these criteria. School counseling can be implemented in the school team process. School counseling can be implemented in the student support team process. School counseling can be implemented as individual counseling process. The prime deterrence focuses on avoiding a problem from occurring. The focus is given on enhancing the school environment by changing the climate of the school into a more positive aspect. This can be achieved by incorporating few changes in the school, like facilitating a safe environment, changing the attitudes of the teachers, etc. can help children. The secondary level of prevention emphasizes on the early indicators of the problem. The main aim is to focus on child's emotional needs and to empathetically encounter the same. To find solutions to these problems, this method can intervene with the individual and the problem so that children at risk can resolve their problems. Examples may include supporting a new student in getting acquainted into the environment, helping students with conflicts by resolving them, intervening students with emotional distress. The tertiary level focuses on reducing the immediate consequences of the problem. The emphasis is to reclaim control over the situation by intervening the cause and effect. This can develop the prevention and remedial strategies that can be implemented and assessed. Examples may include reintegration for students following suspension, etc. These levels of prevention is to respond to the complexity of the problems so that these problems won't affect the child and society at large. The implementation of this involves inputs of different personnel working towards the betterment of children. This can involve the skills of the counselor, clinicians, or any external agency working towards children. The additional skills required in planning are effective communication skills, conflict resolution, data collection, collaboration, mediation, helping others recognize professional limits to the scope of activities, and school counselors helping others to solve their own problems and make informed decisions, specialized knowledge and skills for a consultation process. The focus of prevention is linked to positive school environment. Areas related to this may include classroom profiles and differentiated instruction, effective transitional planning among pre-primary, primary and secondary schooling, safe school initiative, positive behavioral system codes of conduct and emergency preparedness planning, promoting diversity and inclusion in all aspects of the school community. Guidance education. School counselors may render direct directions to students in areas where they require direct help, such as conflict resolution, social skills, career choices, etc. Counselors can collaboratively work with other staff members to support students in different ways. They can provide assistance in implementing and monitoring various benefits for children, such as enhancing positive school climate, improving socio-emotional well-being in children, and so on. School counselors' educational role may also include disseminating information to students, parents, the educational community, and other professionals, acting as a resource for professional learning and curriculum delivery, particularly in the areas related to mental health, personal safety, and sensitive issues, speaking publicly at school or to community groups, participating in professional learning. Fourth point is coordination. School counselors, along with working with students, they can collaborate with counseling services with other educators, parents, etc. to consult and to plan for the betterment of the students. Counselors can plan effective strategies for students' holistic development and can provide need-based intervention for children. Along with students, counselors can also plan sessions addressing parents and teachers. Counselors in school also work with community, spreading awareness to the school community about the services provided through school guidance is a vital role for the school counselor. Working together with the community resources, parents to increase opportunities for students and making appropriate referrals to the community agencies assist students with lifelong learning, transition, appropriate care and treatment, and success. To conclude the present session, The area of school counselling in India is here to stay. Though it is in infancy, it has great potential for growth. It can cater to emergency needs of the student community with globalization, drastic changes in family structure, changing social values, leading to immense stress and strain on the students. The specialized skill of a school counselor need to be tapped to prevent and treat increasing psychosocial problems of students and to provide a holistic development to the students.